Welcome to the Big Food Jerk Show. On this week's episode, TGI Fridays, Famous Dave's, random foodie interviews, my latest review, and more. Have you ever been to TGI Fridays?
No, I have not. I'd like to try it, though.
What's your impression of TGI Fridays?
It's a younger person's date night restaurant.
You know they're trying to do a brand overhaul by introducing morning coffee and takeout lunch, counter, and other changes. Would you go to a place like that? Would you go to TGI Fridays knowing all those things?
Yeah, I would try it. Yes, I would like to.
How about Famous Dave's? Have you ever eaten there?
No, but I've had takeouts from there and I like it.
Takeouts. When was that?
When I lived in Rockford.
Does Famous Dave really own the restaurant?
I don't think so. I think it's a franchise.
No, he used to own it. They're not franchise or corporate owned. What's your favorite barbecue food?
I really don't know. I'm not a big fan of barbecue.
Are you American?
Yes,
What American isn't a fan of barbecue?
that's true, but I'm not.
Well, do you drink alcohol?
Yes,
What do you like? What kind of alcohol do you like?
I like wine and I like mixed drinks.
Tell me an embarrassing moment while you were intoxicated.
I will not. My family may see this and I don't want them to know.
What's your favorite restaurant? Why? And why?
I don't have a particular favorite.
How about a restaurant you don't want to eat at? And tell me why. Something that comes to mind when you say, I never want to go to that restaurant.
I can't think of one offhand.
What's your favorite food?
Oh, my favorite food would be a pork chop with mashed potatoes and gravy.
What's a favorite dish? What's the worst thing you hate? Something you hate to eat?
Shrimp. and peanut butter.
Hey, tell me about a bad restaurant experience. First thing that comes to mind when you think of something that happened in a restaurant that was bad.
When I lived in Chicago, I was sitting at a restaurant and I happened to turn around and there was a family of cockroaches walking across the wall.
Do you want to tell us the restaurant?
It was called Star.
What Star?
The Star Restaurant on Archer Avenue.
Wow. Did you finish your meal or did you get out of
No,
there?
I left and I didn't pay for it.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Did you know in the 1830s ketchup was originally sold as a medicine? I recently read an article about TGI Fridays that caught my attention. And it was something that I wanted to share and to talk about and ask other people if they had, any kind of memories or what their thoughts were on TGI Fridays. It's been a long time since I've been there. Yeah, I'm reading off my notes here. I don't have a teleprompter. I don't have the budget for that yet. But give you a little background. TGI Fridays opened in 1965 in New York City. They were known as the first singles bar. That was their title. Everybody know in New York City. You go there and you try to find someone to date. 1974, they introduced loaded potato skins. Today, there's over 992 locations around the world. Closest locations to us in this area are in Peoria and Moline. TGI Fridays is trying to do a little bit of a brand overhaul, trying to change their image, trying to offer new services, drawing the younger crowd, and so they're offering coffee in the mornings. They have they're putting in side entrances where you can go in and there's going to be a to-go counter, like a deli counter, go in there and get sandwiches, Wi-Fi, cool seating to hang out, and on the weekends they're doing a hangover brunch, Saturdays and Sundays. So I guess you go there and get wasted on Friday or Saturday night, and then you go right back to TGI Fridays and have your little hangover brunch, some Bloody Marys and things like that. The way I look at TGI Fridays, what I remember them as is it's a place where you go and you drink. You drink appetizers. I remember years ago they branded the Jack Daniel's steak. That's one of the foods that I remember them most for. I remember going there and having that. And from my memory, it's been a long time since I had it, but I remember liking it. And when my wife and I first started dating, we would go to TGI Fridays and have cocktails and appetizers. But one thing I really remember about the place is they had a dessert at the time. I don't know if it ever stuck around or if they still have it, but I can kind of remember the girl telling us it was a new dessert, and so I was like, oh, bring it out, I'll try it. I love to try new things. It was like an apple fajita. It was sizzling on the pan. I absolutely hated that thing. To this day, what I remember about it is it reminded me of a Yankee Candle. I did not like it, and so my thoughts about TGI Fridays is I'm not going there for coffee. I'm not going there to get a sandwich for lunch. You go there at night, you have some appetizers, drinks. For a chain place, it's a really cool place to do that. I don't know if that's going to work, and I think that most of the locations, like in strip malls or mall areas, doesn't have easy access from the street. It's not somewhere where you're just going to. Most people are getting that on the go these days are going to gas stations, or if you live near a Starbucks, they have better access, in and out access. Most of the TGI Fridays that I'm familiar with, it's hard to get in and out of those places. It's not an easy access. They're not, traffic friendly to get in and out of them, but. Good luck to them, see if it works out. And been there in a while. I think I'm going to go check out a TGI Fridays and see what's happening.
Top flying trees, dropping rains, falling all day, cutting up an ugly block the hard way.
At TGI Fridays,
No.
what's your impression of them? What do you think when you hear the name? What do you think about that place?
Of the name sounds
the
pretty,
restaurant.
the name sounds pretty good, so I'd like to try it out and see what it's like. I mean, I've heard good things about it from other people, so I'd really like to go in there and try it out and see what kind of good stuff they got to eat.
They started out, they were like known as America's first singles bar in New York City in like the 70s, but now they're trying to brand overhaul by introducing morning coffee, takeout lunch counter, and they're also going to have like hangover brunch on Saturdays and Sundays. Would you go there for coffee?
Well, I don't have much of hangovers anymore, but yeah, I'd still go there for coffee because that's one of my addictions now is coffee. So I would love to go to that place and mingle with a few people and see the new people and faces that would maybe inspire me with different ideas. That'd be an awesome experience.
Cool. Hey, have you ever eaten at Famous Dave's?
No,
Do you think Famous Dave owns the restaurant?
probably not.
What's your favorite barbecue food?
Barbecued food?
Yes.
Pork.
Pulled pork. Tell me an embarrassing moment you had while you were intoxicated.
When he got me on that one. I was in Jansen Beach, Portland, Oregon, and I was on about a week bender of alcoholism and had white sweatpants on and had to change my socks because it got pretty runny down there. And got across the bridge and there was probably umpteen cars with people in it rolling down their windows, honking their horn at me and laughing their asses off.
What were you drinking?
Mad Dog 2020 had about 4 or 5 bottles of it.
There you go. What's your favorite restaurant and why?
My favorite restaurant would have to be right now. You're gonna laugh. The Coffee Cup here in town.
Coffee? Why do you like that place?
I like that place. They have the greatest buffalo chicken wrap, and that's my favorite thing to eat. I like the chicken. I like to stay, high on my proteins and healthy. And fish and chicken are pretty much my basic foods.
How about what's the worst restaurant and why? What do you just hate to go eat?
Oh my gosh, I've been to so many worse restaurants. I think the one that really caught my eye was when I was out west, and I can't remember the name of it, but had cockroaches on the floor as I was eating there, and I'm like, man, this place should be shut down. And that's the thing about places and restaurants; they should be more vigilant with how they're serving their food or how clean their place is, and that'd probably be the last place I would ever want to see again in my life is eating while I'm seeing cockroaches.
Real quick, on top of your head, favorite food?
Chicken.
Worst food? What do you hate?
Coconut.
Hey man, appreciate it. Thanks very much.
No problem.
Did you know orthorexia nervosa is an eating disorder where the sufferer is obsessed with eating healthy food? Have you ever eaten at TGI Fridays?
Yes, I have.
What is your impression of TGI Fridays? When you hear about that restaurant, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
It's supposed to be good food at low price with fast service.
You know, they're trying to brand overhaul. They're introducing morning coffee, a takeout lunch counter. They're actually going to have a Saturday and Sunday hangover brunch. What do you think of that? What about coffee? Would you go there for coffee? Is that a place you think about?
No, probably not. No.
Have you ever eaten at Famous Dave's?
No.
You're familiar with Famous Dave's?
Yes, I've heard the name, yeah.
Do you think Famous Dave really even owns the restaurant?
Probably not. They're just using his name, probably.
What's your favorite barbecue food?
My favorite barbecue food is probably a barbecue. It's not really a barbecue restaurant, but it's a place that serves ribs over in Jefferson Park.
Food. What's your favorite food?
Oh, favorite food? Just regular spare ribs.
You drink
Barbecue
alcohol?
ribs. Yes, in moderation.
What kind of alcohol do you like to drink?
Basically everything except scotch.
Tell me about an embarrassing moment while you were intoxicated. What comes to mind? Something that happened that was fun.
Oh, let's see. Today? No.
Well, it's only 9 a.m. Are you intoxicated already?
No. I've only had a 1.5 Busch Lights today so far. But it's early.
What's your favorite restaurant and why?
My favorite restaurant
Comes to mind.
is, and I got to think of the name of it. It's an Italian restaurant in Wheeling, Tuscany, because I go there and I order the bone-in veal parmesan, and it's fantastic. The best I've ever had. It melts in your mouth.
What restaurant do you just hate going to? Your worst restaurant and why?
Restaurant, I hate going to buffets. It's probably my worst thing because all the food is mediocre, and you come out, you eat too much, and you don't feel good, and you can't remember what you ate.
What's your favorite food? Real quick. First thing comes to mind.
Prime rib.
Worst thing you hate. What do you hate eating?
Spinach.
Give me a really bad restaurant experience. Can you think of any? You went to eat somewhere? The entire experience was just bad.
Oh boy. Not recently, no. Nothing. There's always something that I like about it. I usually try to, I'll usually pick the bones out of something that I don't like. But
Make the best out of a bad situation.
I'm trying to think of if I go into a restaurant. I don't like it when you have to wait for the waitress to come over. That should give you, I like it where you can get water right away. If I start out at a restaurant and I get cold soup, I know it's probably going to be a bad meal because if they can't even serve hot soup, how's the rest of the stuff going to be prepared?
Downhill from there. Yeah, I really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I love barbecue. Barbecue is one of my favorite foods. What American doesn't love barbecue? Think 4th of July, you think barbecue. You think Labor Day, Memorial Day, you think barbecue. Summer is for barbecue, and every guy loves to go out there and grill all summer long. So when you think barbecue chain, what do you think of? That's right, Famous Dave's Barbecue. Here's a little bit of information. I read an article, and it intrigued me, and I thought it was something I'd love to share with you. Dave Anderson, who's an Ojibwe, I did not know that, who served as head of the Federal Bureau of Indian Affairs from 2004 to 2005, started the first Famous Dave's restaurant near Hayward, Wisconsin in 1994. The restaurant chain grew throughout the Midwestern United States, including Puerto Rico in 2014. There are over 200 locations, and the nearest ones to us right now are in Peoria and Davenport. Famous Dave's has recently seen a slump in sales. People have not been going there. One of the reasons is Famous Dave's is no longer an active participant in the restaurant, and the new CEO has taken notice that since Dave has left the organization, given any kind of management oversight, that sales have slumped. I read their menu, and I think they've extended their menu too much, and that could be part of it. They've kind of strayed from the traditional barbecue. And so what they're trying to do is, what the article says is Famous Dave's trying to get their groove back. So they're trying to get Dave Anderson back involved with this, so I think that he can kind of put them on track. They have said that they've opened up too many new restaurants, like the one in Peoria. They have a newer location, and now it's taken over by the old location is one of my favorite places that I've eaten at, with the Hickory River Smokehouse. I love that place, and Famous Dave's moved to their big expensive place across the street. So, if you haven't been to Famous Dave's, go there and check it out, and get a hold of me, send me a message, let me know what you think. I'm going to go there and check it out soon, and see what Famous Dave's has to offer. Did you know that dry swallowing 1 teaspoon of sugar can cure hiccups? TGI Fridays.
I have not.
What do you think about TGI Fridays when you hear the name? What's your perception of that place?
Thank God it's Friday. Probably busy on Fridays.
It's, you know, it's known as the original singles bar in New York City, like in the 70s. And now they're trying to do a brand overhaul. They're introducing like morning coffee, a takeout lunch counter, a Saturday and Sunday hangover brunch. Would any of those things interest you?
I'm sure they would if there was one around. Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't drive 45 minutes to do that, but
There you go. How about Famous Dave's? You ever been there?
I believe I have. Yeah, been a while.
Do you think that Famous Dave actually owns the place?
I seriously doubt it.
He used to. He doesn't anymore. What's your favorite barbecue food?
I would say probably brisket.
Do you drink alcohol?
I do. Yeah.
What do you like to drink?
Mostly beer. Mostly the kind of the smaller stuff. I'm kind of into IPAs right now. India Pale Ales.
Well, you got an embarrassing alcohol-related moment you would like to share with us?
Oh gosh, who doesn't? Well, yeah, I actually do. It's kind of a longer one, but I went out with some friends and we got separated. I ended up walking the opposite direction of my house, and I kind of came to about 2 or 3 in the morning. It was a giant snowstorm, and realized where I was, so started walking the other direction. Got picked up by a cop. He brought me home, and when I went to go shower, I took my jeans off, and my legs were all bright blue, and I thought that I'd been hit by a car, but it turns out it was just dye off my jeans from all the snow.
That's a good one. How about what's your favorite restaurant and why?
My favorite restaurant is Wise Guys because it pays my bills.
There you go. And how about worst restaurant and why? Somewhere you just hate to eat at.
You know, I would just say McDonald's for what it's doing to the population and the idea of nutrition.
How about your favorite food?
You know, my favorite food, I've always heard to eat for nutrition and not necessarily for taste. But if I had to go after taste, I'd say a big juicy burger.
How about the worst food? What do you hate eating?
You know, I have not met a food in my life yet that I don't like.
How about a worst restaurant experience? Real bad one.
I can't think of anything off the top of my head right now, I'm sorry.
That's a good one. Hey, I appreciate it. Thanks very much.
Absolutely, thank you.
Did you know it is illegal in Kentucky to carry an ice cream cone in your back pocket? So I've been asking people to share a story with me about when they've been intoxicated. And so I thought only fair that I would share one too. Years ago when I was in the Army, I was stationed in Fort Gordon, Georgia. And I had a buddy who was another guy from Chicago like I am. We didn't know each other in Chicago, but we had met when we were in Fort Gordon. And we went out to it was a bar off base, but not far off base. And any of you that are military veterans might know this. Near base, they usually have a place that was run by like really pretty Korean women. And so you would go there. It wasn't a place, so don't be thinking anything dirty, you sickos over there. But it was a place with pretty Korean women. You go in there and you hang out with them and you drink. And I'm sure they, try to get you to spend more money and drink more. But me and him went there, and it was like right off base. You went on the main strip of the base, and you hang left, and you go down a mile. So it wasn't like that crazy out of a distance of a place to go to, but we're in there and we got wasted, me and him, and remember we were drinking Jack Daniels. It was a long time ago, but I remember this well. So when we left, we were going to go back, but we were in the Army, so we had to take a shortcut home. We weren't going to go way down that way and way down that way. Oh, no. We were going to jump the fence and go through the woods to get back. We did do that. However, the entire forest was full of sticker bushes. Got cut up everywhere, my face, my arms, and he was all cut up. He was a black guy, so it didn't show up as much on him. The next morning, when we had formation in the morning, we're standing there, and the platoon sergeant goes by. They do like their little inspection thing, I believe it is what they do. And so you walk by, and all of a sudden, my face, and I'm all cut up. I had cuts everywhere, face and arms, and I had to explain myself and what I did. So that's one of my embarrassing intoxication stories. Only thought it would be fair. Here you go.
I wanna spend the night drinking bitter spirit, the taste of your lips. sense of your way. Your fingertips write the devil's message. When I burn without you, only the devil's flame can drown the fire of you.
Play ball.
You ever eaten at TGI Fridays?
I have not.
What's your impression of TGI Fridays?
Kind of like a Bennigan's type restaurant, chain restaurant, I guess.
You know, they were originally known as the first singles bar in New York City. That's where the term started, yeah.
Nice.
Also, they invented loaded potato skins. You like those, don't you?
I sure do.
You know, they're trying a brand overhaul by introducing morning coffee, a takeout lunch counter, and other changes like a Saturday and Sunday hangover brunch. What do you think about them having coffee and things like that? Would you go there for those things?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a pretty cool place. I mean, yeah.
How about Famous Dave's? You've ever eaten there?
I have.
Do you think Famous Dave's actually owns the restaurant?
I don't know who Dave is. I don't know how famous he is, but no, I don't know who owns it.
What's your favorite barbecue food?
I would probably say brisket.
Brisket?
Yeah.
Do you drink alcohol?
Not in excess, no.
Tell me about an embarrassing moment you had while you're incarcerated.
I don't have any.
You don't have any? Yeah. What's your favorite restaurant and why?
Favorite restaurant? Geez, that's tough. I would say, like locally or
Anything. Somewhere you've
anything.
eaten at that comes to mind. I love that place, and what'd you eat there that made you love it
I'd
so
have
much?
to say Kramer's.
Kramer's.
Kramer's Kitchen here in town, yeah, in Princeton. It's fantastic. I've never had a bad sandwich there. Their fried chips are amazing, but yeah, their sandwiches are awesome.
What about the worst restaurant you ever eaten at? What comes to
Worst
mind right
restaurant?
away? The word association, bad restaurant, go and tell me
Man,
why.
that's tough. I'm pretty easy to please, so
Your wife would be happy to hear that?
yeah,
What's your favorite food?
My favorite food? A nice, big, fat, juicy, thick steak. Yeah.
There you go. What about the worst food?
Worst
Something you
food?
hate to eat.
I've never tried green bean casserole because it looks like snot and boogers.
There you
so
go.
I would say that.
I
But I've
can
never
agree.
tried it, so I don't know how bad it is. I just know that it would be bad.
That doesn't visually appeal to you.
No.
What about your worst restaurant experience?
Worst restaurant experience? Again, that's tough. I'm, probably going somewhere where they overcooked my steak.
The steak. It's the steak goes
Yeah,
right to the
it's
steak
the
thing.
steak, yeah.
Hey, I appreciate the answers,
You betcha.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I would just like to share my thoughts on pork tenderloin sandwiches. Why is it when you go to restaurants or bar restaurants and they have a pork tenderloin sandwich that they have those monstrosity pork tenderloins with that crust on there, that stuff is just like, it's almost like shards of glass that'll cut your mouth open, and then the pork and the inside of it is just so dried out. When you go to a German restaurant, you have Jäger Schnitzel, which is the breaded pork, and the pork is so moist, and the coating on the outside, it's like almost, what I can describe it best as is like Kentucky Fried Chicken original recipe. That is the type of breading or coating that I like on a pork tenderloin sandwich. I cannot stand that very dark brown, overcooked shards of glass pork tenderloin. It's almost like it shouldn't call it a coating, we'll call it a protective coating, because you can't even taste the pork tenderloin without cutting your mouth open on that crap. Please, restaurants, stop serving that. Barbecue is probably one of my favorite foods to eat. Not probably, I would say it is. I absolutely love barbecue. And I've recently done most of my reviews lately have been about barbecue places. I love it. I love all aspects of barbecue: ribs, brisket, pulled pork. And one of the, oh boy,